Friends, relatives, strangers, and enemies, welcome to a special episode of the Texas Conservative Channel. We're here on the Texas Conservative Channel. I make it my own personal business to point out the flaws and the failures of the Democrat Party, and I'm relentless in doing so. But this particular episode is going mobile. We'll call it this traveling episode of the Texas Conservative Channel because I am on my way right now to the voting booth. I'm going to let the Democrats know how I feel about them. Of course, I point out their flaws on the Texas Conservative Channel, but this is especially important to me to be able to go vote against them. Every 2 years I take this ride, and every 2 years I think about the flaws of the Democrat Party. I think about the 5 red state fundamentals, the things that are wholly important to the United States of America. You know, I think about enemy missiles. I think about Iran's missiles. I think about North Korean missiles. I think about nuclear warheads. And what that does, it makes me think about the missile defense that Obama did away with. I'll be thinking about that in the voting booth. As well, I'll be thinking about Second Amendment rights and how the Democrats constantly violate everybody's Second Amendment rights. So it's something that always hurts them at the voting booth, and it's certainly fixing to hurt them now. National security. You know, Democrats are piss poor at national security. Barack Obama's got all the enemies laughing at us. He's got them killing my soldiers. Barack Obama's letting Iran sit at the negotiation tables for the withdrawal out of Afghanistan. Now, how in the hell did that happen? Of course, I'm going to consider that at the voting booth. Yes, sir, every 2 years I take this drive. I have never, ever voted for a Democrat. I may have 1 or 2 times when they were running against themselves, but generally, there's no possibility that I'm going to vote for Democrats. You know, the health care bill, the health care debacle, the Democrats simply are not going to land many votes today because they believe that if you don't go out and buy health insurance, that you should be fined or put in jail for it. Now, who the hell's idea was that? You know, that's everybody who voted for that health care bill is in trouble today. There's not a Democrat that I can remember. Maybe Jim Turner, East Texas Congressional District, a long time ago. Since then, there hasn't been a Democrat worth crap. And fellow citizens, I tell you, we can't let people like Bill Maher and communist piece of trash Michael Moore run this country. They want you to go vote Democrat today. Barack Obama, Michael Moore, Sean Penn, all the liberal elitists want you to go in and vote Democrat because they want to expand the voting pool. They want to create more and more and more poor people. And that's why they don't like days like today. Democrats don't like elections. They are unable to continue their destruction of America when elections occur. And of course, it's my job here on the Texas Conservative Channel to point it out. I'll point it out mobile. I'll point it out at the house. I'll point it out anywhere and anytime because it is my duty. Folks, I'm doing this for you. If you hadn't had a chance to vote yet, get out there and do it. There's still time. There's still time to go vote. Let the Democrats know you don't like what they're doing. Let the Democrats know that the weakness in national security is not something that can be stood for. You don't let the Democrats tell you what to do. And when you go in the voting booth today, remember that the Democrats like to claim that when they give you a refund, that means that they're hurting you. But they're not, because when they give you a refund, that means you're doing well for yourself. The Democrats are not taking your money. How can it be spending money if it's a tax cut? That's just not possible. But they like to claim it is. And the reason why the Democrats do this, friends, relatives, strangers, and enemies, as I drive up here to the voting booth, is because the Democrats believe that they are entitled to your money. The Democrat Party, Barack Obama, and his buddies on the ballot today have a preconceived notion that automatically they are entitled to your money. They want to take your money and give it out to somebody else for a vote. And they think you should vote for them for that. Well, it's just not going to happen. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to vote against every Democrat on my ballot. I got my voter's registration card and I'm ready to go in here and take care of business. You know, you need to always watch the Texas Conservative channel. You can further your knowledge, people. You can further your knowledge. There's no question about it. Well, without further ado, let me go in here and vote against these tax-raising sons of bitches. And as always, we'll see you on the next episode of the Texas Conservative channel.